The following audio is from Chapter 1 of a short story called Miranda that is featured on BoxOfficeBoredom.com. New chapters will be released every Saturday on www.BoxOfficeBoredom.com, and the corresponding audiobook version, like the one you are currently listening to right here, debuts every Sunday. With that, we hope you enjoy Miranda Chapter 1. Miranda Chapter 1. Mr. Denevue. Mr. Denevue? Welcome back, Mr. Denevue. Jake squinted as he tried to adjust his eyes to the light. The fluorescent lighting above him was like staring directly into the sun. He felt exhausted. Every muscle in his body felt sore, every part of him like a lifeless weight. His head felt the worst. His head was pounding. It was like he had been struck with a ball bat, and for all he knew, he might still be being struck with that ball bat. His hands were at his sides as he struggled to move them. He wiggled his fingers and began to lift his hand to shield his eyes, but his hand did not move more than a few inches before he felt cold steel pushing against his wrist. He attempted again with no luck. As his eyes began to adjust, he looked down and realized what was preventing him from moving. Each hand was secured with a handcuff to the side of the bed. As he began to gain more consciousness, Jake began surveying the room. It looked to be a standard hospital room, nothing out of the ordinary. All the traditional beeping bells, whistles, and medical gear surrounded him. An IV was in his arm and was strung up to some solution, slowly dripping into his veins. By the way he felt, Jake was pretty sure that it wasn't morphine, and he was in far too much pain for it to be that. His eyes continued to focus as he turned his head to the right. Sitting in a chair off in the corner, pretending to watch the local news on a small television room, was the person behind the voice he had heard as he began to reconnect with the world around him. "Welcome back, Mr. Denevue," the voice said again, as Jake once again began to pull his arms, trying to loosen them. "Don't worry, Jake. You're safe now. You had an accident. Do you know why you're here? Do you remember anything?" the voice asked as she slowly moved closer to him. Still unsure of who was talking to him or how he got here, Jake stayed quiet as the woman walked towards him and was soon looming over him. "My name is Special Agent Catherine Carr, and you have some explaining to do, Mr. Denevue." "Okay, but first, how did I get here?" asked the very confused Jake, still unsure if it was because of the blow to the head or the slow IV that was dripping into his bloodstream. "As I said, Jake, you were in an accident. But we need to know about what the plan was. We need to know how to stop it. Time is running out." "Stop what?" "Jake, you know what we're talking about. The boat, the briefcase, and Miranda. Where are they?" Jake gained more consciousness by the minute, but still had less clarity about the situation. "I don't know what you're talking about, and who the hell is Miranda? Let me out of here. I have rights, you know." "Jake, right now the lives of the many outweigh your rights. Now where is Miranda?" Carr pushed down on Jake's arm, causing a shooting pain to echo through his body. The pain was almost so intense that he nearly passed out again. "Now, Jake, if you don't want to tell me where Miranda is the easy way, we can do it a much harder way." Carr once again squeezed the bandaged part of his arm. The sharp pain returned. Jake screamed. "Screaming isn't going to help, Jake. Only I can make the pain go away, and you have to tell me what I need to know." Jake screamed in agony as Carr pushed down hard on Jake's throbbing arm. All right, enough. I'll talk. Just let go," screamed Jake as Agent Carr let go of his arm. Just hear me out. I know my name's Jake Denevue. I'm 42 years old. I've been married to my wife, Lauren, for 15 years. I live in a small town in Kansas. I'm a teacher at a local college. I don't know where I am right now. I don't know how I got here. I don't know anything about special agents, boats, briefcases, and I sure as fuck don't know anyone named Miranda. So please, for God's sake, cut me some frickin' slack and give me a little bit to go off of here." Agent Carr stared back at him with cold, dark eyes. Jake's plea looked as though it didn't even make the slightest impact on her life. She grabbed his arm once again. Once again, pressing down, she repeated herself. "Jake Denevue, you know about the boat, the briefcase, and you know about Miranda. This isn't some sort of game. People's lives are at stake here, and you can either tell me now how to stop this, and I can stop the pain, or I can keep going." Carr's grip on Denevue's arm clamped down even harder. Jake once again screamed out in pain. "The arm is the least of your worries, Jake. That's going to feel wonderful compared to what's next. Now tell me what I need to know." Agent Carr released her hand from his arm. Jake mustered up enough power through the pain to spit out, "I don't know what we're talking about." "Now you've done it, Jake. I've tried to be reasonable with you. I tried to give you a chance to come clean. I haven't tried to reason with you. But this doesn't make me have to reason anymore. Agent Carr reached into the bedside table and picked up a small syringe full of a blue liquid. Jake tried to struggle as she grabbed his IV line and slowly injected the blue liquid into his veins. Jake's heart felt like it skipped a beat. It was suddenly racing, then it slowed back down. He began to feel lightheaded. The world went back into slow motion. "What's happening to me?" muttered Jake as he struggled to keep his eyes open. "It's poison, Jake. It's in your bloodstream. It's slow acting, but it will stop your heart eventually. Now listen very carefully, Jake. In the next few minutes, your heart is going to stop. And I'm going to jumpstart it with this." Agent Carr picked up a set of defibrillator paddles. "Once I do that, I'm giving you 2 minutes to talk before I let your heart stop again. And then I'm going to jumpstart you again. Needless to say, eventually after enough time, the poison will run its course. And no matter how many volts I send through your body, you won't feel it. You won't wake up from it. One way or another, I'm going to find out what I need to know, or you're going to die from me trying. It doesn't have to be this way, Jake. Where is Miranda?" Jake couldn't keep his eyes open. He couldn't breathe. His heart felt slower and slower. The room got darker and darker. And suddenly, there was no light at the end of the tunnel. Jake Denevou's heart stopped for the first time. The following has been a new piece of original fiction produced for www.BoxOfficeBoredom.com. Join us next week for the continuation of our story, text version available on Saturday, audio version available on Sundays at www.BoxOfficeBoredom.com. This audio is a production of the Boredom Broadcast Network and is protected by a 2015 copyright and by BoxOfficeBoredom.com, all rights reserved. No part of this publication may be reproduced, distributed, or transmitted in any form or any means, including copying, recording, or other electronic or mechanical methods without the prior written permission of the publisher. For permission requests, please visit www.BoxOfficeBoredom.com and contact us through the Contact Us section on the website.